Yes.
Commissioner Evans?
Yes.
President Roderick?
Yes.
All in favor?
Thank you, girls.
Good evening. My name is Sammy Cretchen. In hopes of making this interactive addition to the community center, this small group of Girl Scouts and I have a firm aspiration to modify the area alongside the existing roadway throughout the premises and turn it into a fitness trail. We have full intention of creating these trails to promote fitness and physical well-being. In order to make this physical trail possible, we need permission to build on the area. We have a desire to place markers that hold descriptions of workouts that can be performed on the equipment. Some suggestions we have is to build a box for box jumps and a pull-up bar for a large assortment of exercises. We also believe that the area can be used for other physical activity that do not require equipment such as push-ups, squats, jumping jacks, lunges, etc. We ask that you please consider our proposal, and we are open to any suggestions you have. We thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, girls. And have you looked at other fitness trails? Have you done any research to look at some other fitness trails? There are a lot of them that are out there, and there was one that I used to use, and it was in the mountains. And what they did, it pretty much was a path cut through like a field. So they would keep the trail cut, then they would have stations and what you would do, like you said, push-ups or different things. And the one that I've seen, it was mainly rustic. So some of the trees that they would cut down, they would use them and stack them for like, sit-up benches, or they would use them. They would put two trees and they would put them in a hole for like a pull-up bar or something. They kind of made it rustic, and there wasn't a lot of like equipment needed, but it just took a lot of thought and a lot of preparation. We do have the space if we have to use it through a field that's, and keep that trail cut. Back to John Castino, is that something you could work with, like the cut? What is, John? It's about, it could be like maybe a half a mile, snake through different, not necessarily on a trail, but mainly in a field, because is that something you guys can work with? The same thing, I think we should probably make a motion to do it $200 in supplies. I don't think it's going to, we could use some of the trees that we down and things like that to make it kind of rustic. But I'm going to make the same motion that we donate $200 in supplies to these girls to complete their project for a fitness trail. And I'd like to ask for that motion. Roll call.
Commissioner Simula?
Yes.
Commissioner Saxon?
Yes.
Commissioner Clismo?
Yes.
Commissioner Beckowitz? Commissioner Blake?
Yes.
Commissioner Evans?
Yes.
President Roderick?
Yes.
All in favor?
Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will honest. The first group, do you guys need anything for your birdhouses, or do you have new materials for birdhouses? That's what I was assuming. I just. Okay, thank you. Okay, citizens to address agenda items. We don't have anybody on here that has anything on the agenda, I don't believe. So we'll hold these until after we go through our agenda. One discussion item that we do have, and I want to discuss it so the other commissioners are aware, it deals with paving. And I'm going to have Brian take the floor here in a second and explain everything, but last year, we as the board had decided to make a list of streets to be paved. And we said it would be the better thing to do to take the list and make it according to the list of the worst streets that are to be paved. Well, I got a couple calls. My end of the township is mainly rural, and I had Bob Robertson look at one of the streets. It was actually Ocean Street in Smithdale, and they said, this street's terrible. It hasn't been paved in 20-some years. And I asked Brian. I said, it's nowhere on the list. And I talked to Bob Robertson. I said, well, that list was made with liquid fuels money. Like the liquid fuel, the only streets that are liquid fuels are on that list. So what I want to bring aware to the rest of the commissioners is in your ward, it's not necessary because there's a list that all the roads are covered. So if somebody comes to you and say, hey, my road's pretty bad, we're gonna have to have the engineers take a look at that, because there are requirements which Brian's gonna go over. And also, the other thing on top of this, we can add to the liquid fuels list, because some of these roads were added to the township years ago that aren't quite wide enough. They might be a foot or two, and if we go in and we make them a foot or two wider, then they could be on the liquid fuels list. I think September 1st is the deadline, correct, Brian? But that way, we can get monies to help maintain these roads for the liquid fuels and add to our liquid fuels in the future. But I just want to make all the commissioners aware, if there's any complaints and roads that we've done, that they may not be on the list. So we just assume, I know everybody here probably assumed that list was completed under the road in the township. So I want to kick that over to Brian and go ahead and he can explain a little bit better with it, Brian.
Yeah, typically when we do our road studies, we develop our list based on the list that's provided from PennDOT that the township receives liquid fuel funds for. Okay, there are certain criteria that a road needs to meet for that. And typically when the township either builds or adopts a road by ordinance, they adopt it up to that standard. Well, it appears as though over the years, some of the roads that the township has taken over, whether they be private or they were just adopted outside of the standards, they were never added to the liquid fuels list because they don't meet the requirements for it. At this point, we don't have an exact gauge of how many of those there are. We will work with John and with the commissioners if you know of them in your report. But the requirements, I'll say, to meet liquid fuels, you have to have a right-of-way of 33 feet, a paved area of 16 feet wide, capable of being driven at 15 miles per hour safely. And then the big one probably the township is the dead end, must be at least 250 feet in length and have a cul-de-sac with a radius of 40 feet. So there may be a lot of private roads that over the years, they don't have the cul-de-sac, they're not the proper width, but the township was plowing them and we took them over. Well, they don't qualify for liquid fuels, so they would never show up on our list that we put together. So there is a possibility of slightly upgrading some of these roads, or finding some that do meet that spec that were never adopted properly by ordinance or submitted to liquid fuels, and we can submit those. But we do need to get a gauge on the number of roads there are and what condition those are in. As President Roderick stated, the one, Ocean Street, Bob Robinson went out and looked at it. It was pretty bad. The estimate's about $15,000 to do that road. If the worker chooses to, with the budget improvement at the end of the year, after the paving program. But this is something that we did just discover as of last week, and actually we've been in contact with PennDOT about what the requirements are. So we'll definitely move from here and try to get a feel for how many of these roads that the township owns, but don't meet the liquid fuel spec.
But just to clarify two things, Brian, and we had a discussion on this. First thing, even if they don't meet the liquid fuel spec and they're not able to be formed into the liquid fuel spec, say we don't have 33 feet of right away and it's a township road, that it's our road, we've taken it over for years, we've used it, we can still use liquid fuels money. Brian had checked on that. So we can still use the money from liquid fuels to actually pave those roads, even though they didn't fund into the liquid fuels. So, and what we want to do, and that's why we're bringing it up tonight, we want to make sure that next year, before we put our paving up to bid, if there's some roads that slip through the cracks, because I mean, some of these roads haven't been touched in 20, 30 years. And some of them can't be milled, like, Ocean Street, for example, usually when they mill, they take about 1.5 inches, 2 inches off. I don't think that street's 1.5 inches thick. I mean, it's pretty much so they couldn't mill, they just would have to overlay that, and, that would be one example. But, the big thing is, we just want to make aware, we want to, work with our road department and with Brian for our next year's paving, that we add some of these roads so they don't fall through the cracks, because I know we all assume that they're on the list. So just everybody check their boards, because I know the standard answer has been like, hey, we have a list, and we're looking at that list, and we're gonna take care of that. So that's kind of where we're at. And, I would like to get, since Ocean Street's there, I would like to at least get that one taken care of, should we have enough money in liquid fuels at the end of the year. So So I would like to make a motion that we take care of it. We add Ocean Street to the in-house paving list, contingent upon there being liquid fuels money back, because we did get a little bit of paving, so.
We're gonna do this, but we look at the entire township and just prioritize. I mean, I don't think it's right I don't think to pick and choose.
Right.
I think if we're gonna do it, let's do it right.
I think you're asking for a nightmare, though. Because
Well, whether it's a nightmare, it's a nightmare. That's why we're here. To do it. It could be a bigger nightmare. We do Ocean Street and 7 others turn up, it's just a bad word.
I mean, that's fine, we have to be the O'Brien or drawing on that, I'm fine with that. So if we look at it, we look at the roads that fell through the cracks, and see if we have left in the liquid fuels, and we have the parameters, so.
This whole thing about last year, we don't think there's gonna be a lot of them. I mean, I don't think we're talking 100 streets or anything like that, but there probably are a handful that they just don't meet specs, so they kind of fell through the cracks.
Well, and there's several developments too. I assume that the streets have not been dedicated or accepted by the township, but yet there's no one there to take care of them, so to speak. So that's another issue.
That's another issue, absolutely.
Yeah, that's gonna be my question, is just because I know, aware, Williamsburg, we were always under the impression that that's a private road.
It's that those roads are not dedicated, have not been dedicated by the developer, they haven't been accepted by the council, so there's
Yeah,
If it's not liquid fuels,
how do we get to this? Nobody knows?
I mean, that,
Somebody has to know the answer to that
Either that or we better get, we ought to get it over.
Yeah.
We're losing money, we're losing money.
And maybe, I'd have to look back, I'm not sure.
Underneath there, it's all.
Take over, in order to get those fuels absolutely right, I mean, this right here. We must provide a copy of the ordinance showing the need of dedicated, or dedicated township.
Okay, if you're not gonna find the developer over there.
And then we'll have like that road
Well,
up.
and the same thing in my.
if we're plowing and installing, I'm not telling you they don't know, but if we're overly liable, or if we're plowing and installing, causing a damage, at some point, we're gonna have to stand up and be economical.
Well, and the fact is that there's residents that live there, and ultimately, nobody else is gonna do it, because those developers are gone. They're coming back, so if you don't help them, there's nobody there that's gonna do it. I think what we're gonna find is that there's multiple scenarios over the years where the township has started to maintain a road, or they took over a road that the developer disappeared, or what have you, and that's how these things never got depend on economic fuel. So we'll have to take a look at all of the scenarios, see which ones we can submit and get reimbursement for, and just attack it one by one.
Well, there are two separate issues here, though. I mean, the first issue is that I think we need to look at the roads that are already township roads that fell through the cracks. And you guys will, you guys work with those roads between Brian and Johnny. Then, I mean, if the board's in agreement, we basically come up with a list of the roads, prioritize them, and whatever liquid fuels we have for this year, next year, we take care of those roads. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. We could use liquid fuels money to do that, because we do have some extra work to bid left over. Yeah, but the second issue that we have, and we'll have to kick this over to Solicitor Kunis, some of these developments that fell through the cracks, and they're not township roads, we're gonna have to look as a board as adopting them as township roads before we go ahead, because they have to be officially adopted, so I think we're looking at two different issues here. The board agrees with that, I think we need to basically take care of both of those issues and clean both of them
No,
up.
I don't mean, Brian, does it have to have, maybe Matt, you know this, have to have proper drainage also? Or is that not a spec of?
I don't think PennDOT specifies.
So, if the others don't think that, it's a liability reason, if it's not draining properly, and we end up with an accident on that roadway, we go to adopt it, it's not properly draining.
Right.
You maybe.
Well, I'll tell you, I think where I'm at, those roads probably aren't gonna meet spec anyway.
Yeah.
I just don't, they weren't, I know, like, my cul-de-sac on that, it's not wide enough, I mean, plow it, they can always have problems in there. They weren't put in to the specs that they would need to be put in to get liquid fuels anyhow. So if you're taking them over, you know,
You're pretty much, you're going back from square one. Because, I
Yeah.
mean, there should be so much stone underneath, you know, some number 4, some number 2, so much modified. You know, if the developer skipped on the stone,
Yeah.
skipped on the binder, I mean, they go to mill some of these roads, that join them, tell you they're supposed to mill 2 inches. They don't have 2 inches to mill.
there's supposed to be a
There's no-
process where they're putting that development in, where the engineer's going out there reviewing it and saying, yeah, this looks okay, this looks okay, this looks okay. So that you don't get into this jackpot, you know.
But you bring up a valid point though, Paul, you start one of these roads, they're gonna have to be drained correctly, because once we take them over, even though we've been plowing and paving them, there are another handful of roads in these towns that haven't been adopted as township roads. So I think we need to look at 2 issues, but I think they're 2 separate issues, and we need to basically explore both of those issues.
There hasn't been many scenarios over the past 4 or 5 years of development. Obviously, the closest is Country Club Manor, and that's, we've been working with the developer. They paved, we gave them, we reviewed everything storm sewer wise, and the township has not adopted those roads because they have not met all of the requirements that we set to protect the township.
Any other comments, questions? Okay, we're gonna go through the voting items. Motion to approve the commissioner meeting minutes from June 6, 2016. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Silva?
Yes.
Commissioner Saxon? Commissioner Kuzma?
Yes.
Commissioner Redwoods? Yes. Commissioner Blake?
Yes.
Commissioner Evans?
Yes.
President Rodrick?
Yes.
All in favor?
Next one, need a motion to approve the June 20th, 2016 bill warrant in the amount of $193,117.03, which includes $2,349.75 for sanitary department payroll that will be reimbursed from the sanitary funds. And also, just for a note, while making this motion, this board approved the agreement with Invenergy to reimburse costs, and there were a couple costs that will be reimbursed because they show up on our bill warrant, we pay them, Invenergy, the stenographers one, I think the Zidings bills is another one, but we did receive a check from Invenergy to reimburse some of those expenses. And even though they show up on our bill warrant, I just want to make it for clarification that we're paying the bills, but we've been getting reimbursed for those. So just for
Would be more
clarification.
specific because I have some questions here.
Well, whatever your questions are, I'm just making a point. I'll go ahead and ask for a motion that we can have a discussion. Just ask for a motion. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion as long as we have discussion.
Second? Okay, discussion. Good.
All right, beginning of the year, and we're bragging that we were going to raise retainer for some corporate relations. And we made it $6,500, which is about $78,000 a year. And that was going to include all the expenses that we paid when we had a $700 retainer, and then paid them by the expenses we were going to absorb that in this amount. Now, I'm still looking here. For example, we have the retainer for the engineer, $6,500, then $4,000 for paving. Well, paving program we go through every year, and that should that be part of the retainer? Then we have legal, $6,500, and we have professional services, should that be part of it? We bragged to these people here, took the money we're saving, but now we're paying in addition.
I can tell you on a legal end, Donald, you're saving a tremendous amount of money, because if you recall, one of the things you may be missing as far as my bills go, and I don't have anything that's outside my retainer, even the Invenergy situation, I don't do anything separately, everything's included. But we had been paying Campbell Grant Beatty over $100,000 per year. That was all absorbed by myself for $2,500 per month. So if you want to look at my bills, I'll be glad to sit down and talk with you, and we can talk about
No,
where
we're going to talk right now. We're going to talk right now.
Well,
You're using a year. Let me go back a year or two before that. When you're comparing yourself when we had that real estate. Let's go be.